పర్లేదు జ్యోతి గాని.
అది 2 వీక్స్ వర్క్షాప్ అంటే పీపీటీనా?
అదే సార్.
ఇదేనా?
పంపించాడు చూడండి సార్, ఈరోజు మెయిల్ పంపించాడు.
ఏఐఎస్ అదేనా?
అదే సార్, అదే పైన లింక్ ఇచ్చాడు. అదే సార్,
నేను జాయిన్ దీంట్లో జూమ్లోనే అయ్యేది.
నేను
యూట్యూబ్లో అయ్యేది.
యూట్యూబ్ కూడా ఇచ్చాడు వాడు.
చూడు ముందే
సేపు
Bye.
பேசவே இல்ல. ஒரு ஜூம் மீட்டிங் அட்டென்ட் பண்றோம்ல, இப்போ இந்த மீட்டிங்கை நம்ம ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணணும்னா எப்படி பண்ணணும்?
அண்ணா ஆடியோ வராது.
ஆடியோ மட்டும் வராதா? ஆடியோவோட வரணும்னா
வராது.
வரவே வராதா? ஆனா நிறைய பேர் அந்த ஜூம் மீட்டிங் ஆடியோவோட போடுறாங்க.
సార్ ఒకసారి
ஜூம் மீட்டிங்க ஆடியோ போட்டு விட்டணும்.
Sir, Preetha is having some issues, so she'll join in a minute.
ఓకే మేడం ప్లీజ్ ఓకే
I request the participants to please wait. We'll begin shortly once the speaker joins.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hereby welcome you all to the 2-week workshop on innovation in technology leading to entrepreneurship. The program is organized by IAC, IQAC, and Innovation Cell of the college in association with WeGrow Private Limited. WeGrow works in the financial inclusion space, providing microloans and promoting entrepreneurship amongst the vulnerable section of the society. It aims to build up financially exclusive services and other holistic development initiatives for the underprivileged section. I would now request the host to do the lamp lighting. I would now request our principal ma'am to address the participants.
Hello, am I audible? Rita, am I audible?
I'm audible.
Okay. A very good afternoon to all the dignitaries and participants present here. My dear colleagues, dear students present in this virtual platform. Today we have gathered here for the 2-week virtual workshop on innovation in technology leading to entrepreneurship. Innovation and entrepreneurship are key drivers in today's engineering world, and it is the push to develop sustainable products, services, and technologies, which is needed now more than ever. From global corporation to small scale businesses, national to local, many are avidly searching for ways to come up with sustainable solution to combat the environmental challenges. So when it comes to innovation in engineering, it's never been more critical. We may think that engineering is all about working with a rational and logical process with no room for creativity. But in fact, engineering and innovation go hand in hand. Innovation has a great influence on the growth and survival of today's engineering world, which is very much important in higher education institutions, which are committed to nurture the innovation and entrepreneurship skill among students. Technologies work to improve society, and not just for the benefit of the local community, but the planet as a whole. Over the last few years, there's been a rise in developing sustainable, innovative solutions, from e-mobility and new battery technology for greener, more sustainable cities, to alternative energy sources and robotics for sustainable mining technology, and so on. Without innovation in these areas, modern life would not be possible. However, we have eminent speakers among us, and I will not take much time. I take the privilege to welcome Professor Ramesh Panda, Professor S.S. Rao, and Mrs. Nandini Chakraborty in this virtual platform. I also welcome the other dignitaries and all the eminent speakers for the other days, participants from our group and other institute from West Bengal and all over India. I know the session will be engaged and enriched one, and the speech from our speakers will augment the knowledge of the audience. Thank you for joining us and sharing your valuable time with us. Thank you all. Over to Preetha.
Thank you, ma'am. Our first speaker of the day is Professor Ramesh Chandra Panda. Sir has a distinguished career of over 14 years of industrial and academic experience providing educational instruction, engineering projects, and training solutions to individuals. He is the reviewer of 6 international UGC CARE listed and Scopus indexed journals. Sir has authored 12 textbooks, namely Industrial People Management, Joy of Engineering and Management, Interdisciplinary Bridging Gap Between Education and Industry Requirements, and others. Professor Panda has published 28 research papers and 205 research patents. He has also granted 55 Australian patents and filed more than 62 Australian innovation patents. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. First of all, I'm very thankful to Dr. Mohia ma'am for giving this opportunity to explore the kind of innovations, research engagement, and value additions your educational practices at your college. My objective to encourage and motivate people exactly thing is, with respect to kind of educations and kind of what is that called your technology practices now running in college, we need to empower ourselves first into various kind of um, rich expertise technologies like your 3D printing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and IoT. Being expertise into IoT and 3D printing, I can say you can build a world. You can build a world where innovation may bring comfort for the society. Now the time, the industrial automation shifting towards non-contact type of IoT engaged sensors. I'm very sure, means within 3 to 4 years, the time will come. Now you can find pyrometers, which is a work on the radiation basis. I really surprised, even if 99% of machineries, diagnosis kind of machineries or direct product making kind of machineries, they are fitted with contact type of sensors. Maybe it's IoT or any robotic practices, but still it's 99% are working on contact type of sensors. Now the shiftings of industries moving towards non-contact type. Day before yesterday, we worked for a South African patent. It is all about IoT based radiation kind of pyrometer, which may use in different type of machining process. I'm expert into mechanical engineering. Even if during machining process, if you rightly investigate, the quality of surface finish, the quality of cuttings directly engage with the speed, feed, depth of cut, and temperature generations. The kinds of bores and using the flushings now required adequate amount of temperatures so that we can get the better quality of surface finish. So my practice now to engage IoT with various kind of what is that called your sensors. You will surprise nowadays non-contact type of liquid level sensors are available. NP25, NP10, NP5s with IoT practices now engaging with all robotic assembly, all robotic innovation practices into industrial automations.
I request
You
all
can
the
find.
participants to mute themselves. Kindly mute yourselves. Please, sir, continue.
Yes, yes. So thing is, our education practice, our syllabus, not up to that standard to make our student fit for the purpose or required for the industry requirements. We have to make our student, first of all, we have to make ourselves learn that new technology practices, then only we can motivate others. I still remember when I started learning 3D printing, when I started learning IoT practices, how I converted myself as a learner, then converted my learning habit into attitude as a practitioner, then converted that practice into innovations, filing of the patent. Nowadays, I'm warming up my pockets. Everything depends on learning. First of all, make yourself as a good learner. With early discussion with our principal ma'am, we are going to establish one center of excellence into 3D printing and IoT at your greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. And I hope students can take its benefit. We are into engineering means we have to bring all nurture practices into design. Number one, 4 more tools are available. CATIA, V6 versions are available now. SolidWorks, your AutoCAD, 2022 versions now available. Then your ProEase. Every student is supposed to aware about designing practices first. Now next to design is all the technology practices. Artificial intelligence, data analysis, data analytics, big data. These are the now segregated area where you can invest your computer science students. Design practices, non-conventional machining process where you can engage our mechanical, electronic students. Because now every non-conventional machining process, automized one, they are integrated with sensors. But unfortunately, we students and faculties are not much aware about these new practices. Nowadays, we are working with chemical balancing. Before 2-3 days, with one of professor from Rai University and principal of your college and one of my MOU college from Jaipur, we investigated one chemical balancing for gypsum. How to neutralize the alkaline natures of soil for better cultivations for better paddy cultivations. And we published the work into a Springer Index journals. Actually, somebody make me the what is that called, your group host. Many people are sending invitations, right? If you are a computer science practitioner, I'm telling you, better you invest yourself into design practices of robotics. Now, industrial automation is shifting from industry 4.0 to 5.0. And still we are not aware about the industrial automation segments. Industry 4.0, many people are giving their own ideations, but I'm not aware about it. I'm just aware the technology practices I am doing. Industry 4.0 means where sensors are communicating with the sensors. Not flexible automation 100%. With the manual programmings, sensors are communicating with other sensors to make the work flexible. That is called Industry 4.0. If I'll ask you what is Industry 5.0, I think 100% student and professor are not aware about it. Industry 4.0 producing plenty threatens. What is that called? Threatens for the civilizations or direct to workforce or labor society. So now Industry 5.0 shifting means equal trade potential ownership. Means man and machine both will work together. And same kind of intellectual engagement supposed to be there with the man, with the machine. Through the filing of the patent, we researching a lot of things. We are reading the things, we are practicing the things, we are investigating the things, we are bringing the valuable ideation with the sophisticated validations. Then only patents are granted. Through the learning, what exactly, through different resource paper, what exactly I got to know, that day will come within 2 to 3 years, days will come where every shifting of practicing, industrial practicing is going to entertain into educational practices. Education practice supposed to that much sophisticated and high quality compared to industry, where people will come out and they can direct work with the industry requirements. Students supposed to know about the automation practice, number one. If faculty will aware, then student will know. If faculty will not aware, means how student can learn the things. Every automation now require designs. Every automation nowadays required simulation. Every automation now required programmings, Python programmings. This is the minimum requirement for all engineering students. Python supposed to be a compulsory language. C++ supposed to be a compulsory with expertise. Not means not by what is that called to learn or to get any certificate course. Python supposed to be a compulsory course for every student. Maybe you are civil, mechanical, electrical, electronics, computer science. You supposed to be good hand in design practices, number 2. Number 3, you not supposed to limit yourself only learning practices. You have to convert that learning into hands-on learning. When you convert the real time, means conversion from theory to practical, you can understand through trial and error methods. You can understand the kind of requirement or sophistications required to make the things possible. But unfortunately, give me a minute, please. Into our education practice, we are not giving that much importance. 1 minute, please. Somebody, Prerna Chawla. We are not bringing that much sophistication. Still, we are running with last 25 years means old syllabus. We are not updating ourselves. We are not understanding what kind of sophisticated quality technology required for the market. We are not aware about different type of new inventions. Right? So this is the drawbacks actually into our education system. And what I request you, put your, at least you identify one research area, means one technology practice area where you can invest yourself, you can learn the things, you can contribute the things, and you can develop such kind of new products addressing the problems, means societal problem difficulties. Before going to any research work, earlier what we used to do, we used to define the, means we used to go for the different literature reviews. But now the eras of new research, innovation completely changed. Nowadays we are taking problem statements, and with respect to problem statement, we are defining the practices. With our own expertise, we are bringing the solution. Thing is, we are limiting ourselves into pen and paper kind of applications. We are not converting ourselves into real-time practitioner or technology practitioner for developing of the products. When you are working for the innovations, you are contributing a huge for the society. Innovation means the highest value, resource potential. When you learn the things, you will go for the hands-on learning. When you go for the hands-on learning, you will develop new products or research practices, research practitioner products addressing the problem statement. I ideated and invented and produced 2 prototypes for 2 robots. One is a digital robot that is called Roba. We filed the patent and granted for that. One climatic reader kind of robot we developed with 21 different type of sensors into micro level and macro levels. Nowadays we are working with neonatal caddies, neonatal carriers with the Sarvajani College of Engineering. So likewise, we have to take the problem statement and we have to bring the solutions. On 26th of January, I started one innovation, how to avoid duplication of means medicine in supply chain management system. India is producing 10 to 20% of fake medicines as per the World Health Organization report and data received from different research paper. What exactly I found, India is producing 10 to 20% of fake medicine market. To avoid that, with one professor from your Kolkata, today also we invented one new thing. We ideated one security-based IoT model with one automated conveyors and tunnel system to check the duplicacy of medicine in supply chain management. Thing is, when we are making the things possible, when we are doing the things possible, we have to understand the problem statement, number 1. We have to ideate the solution, number 2. With respect to our expertise, you can engage your expertise into the, that is the contribution actually we education society can do for the, for the peoples. Our studies not supposed to limit with the certificates. Our studies supposed to go beyond the certificate, work for the society, understand the problem statement, bring solution for them, bring an inspirator, be a motivator for others, be an icon or role model for the others, so other people can get inspired from you and they can learn the things. That is the best value. And research supposed to be standard for every college, every universities. Standard research, qualitative research supposed to be there. With respect to inventiveness, novelty of the work, prior art of development, your modeling, quality modeling, research supposed to be a pounding, what is that called? Pounding standard of every education and inspiration for the faculty and students together. When you are researching something, that means you are contributing something for the society. Somewhere somebody will read you, somewhere they will get understand from your ideation, your value inputs, and that will inspire that fellow or that guy to do some great in their life. But unfortunately, nowadays, I have 25 more colleges, 25 more MOU colleges. I'm interacting all the student and faculty one side, not both those sides. One side I'm communicating, but I'm not satisfied the quality of research engagement in different institutes. And you are very fortunate. Dr. Mavia ma'am is there. I already went to your college before. I spoke to your dean sir and head of the departments. I really found they are having great knowledge and they're having great potential. So why not you engage all the students together, at least those students into third year and final years, into small kind of projects. Small kind of IoT engagement or 3D printing engagement or machine learning, that can be possible. If computer is there, internet is there, you can learn the things. Slowly we'll learn and we'll translate the knowledge to our students. And I'm very happy that today I got an invitation from Dr. Mohia ma'am to establish one center of excellence at Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. And I'm happy to solve all those infrastructures for you. But my objective is simple. My objective, that is not objective, it is my weakness. Learning is my weakness. Students supposed to get benefits from there. Benefit in terms of expertise into 3D printing and IoT practice. And whatever knowledge I'm holding with my connections and with my company based, whatever peoples are available with me, at least I can serve you virtually, online learnings, offline also we can arrange. But at least for this pandemic period, we can connect student with expertise peoples and make them aware about new learning practices. Technology is something by which I uplifted myself individually. I'm a real-time example sitting in front of you. When I started the things before 2 years back, I was nothing in field of research. And now I'm sitting in front of you as a highest patent holder. How I motivated, inspired myself to learn the things. Always feel a student within, always feel a good learner within, then you can convert the things and you can change your lifestyles. I'm telling you. Nowadays, peoples are earning in crores. Peoples are earning in crores. I'm an example. We are sitting for the reimbursement. We are sitting for the funding opportunities. We are guiding hundreds and thousands number of professors together for Indian research copyrights, for utility patent, for geographical indication, for the trademarks. Only happened due to learning. Only bringing the expertise. You bring the expertise within and you can cheer your life. You can celebrate. You can celebrate everything. As a highest patent holder of India, I am charging more amount for filing of patents. I am selling my patents at 2 lakh rupees to international standards or universities or institutes together. And everything depends on success rate. Success rate means you are taking any task or any, what is that called, challenge, make it possible 100%. Make it, do it. Means with your learning practice, bring that much confidence within you that you can win the race. Education something, I'm telling you, I think people are not that much aware about it. Education is something can build your whole life, means beautiful. You are not celebrating exactly. Otherwise, you can find yourself, utmost upper standard of the society. Government always promoting professors, students together to, what is that called? To work for the research, innovations. Government is funding up to 5 lakh rupees for granting of any international patents. Government is funding or giving the reimbursement up to 1 lakh rupees for filing and getting grants of Indian patents. If you are working for geographical indications and trademarks, government is giving 10,000 and 20,000 respectively. Students are taking benefits. Startup India through startup states, government is giving 15 lakh rupees funding opportunity for your own ideation. Our bank loans are available, non-interest, no interest bank loans are available. You can take the opportunity. MSME providing 15 lakh rupees for 10 people. And quarterly, every quarterly, they are organizing events, competition for the students and professors. DST, MET, technology development boards, lot of huge engagement, huge circle now working for the technologies. Prediction analysis, simulation. I think no student, no professor, they're aware about the simulation tools, making the software ready, designing the softwares, program ready, robotic programmings. And if you are not doing, means what exactly, how you are celebrating your educational career, means how you can celebrate it. With the advancement of technology, with the advancement of engineering practices, we have to learn it. Unless until you learn the things, you can find you can't get the satisfaction from there. That's why I'm telling you, first be a good learner. Keep the habit. As because we are into educational industry, learning only one possible way where you can build your career. Just make yourself expertise into one field. Hundreds of ways are there. Hundreds of technology practices are there. Programming practices are there. Design practices there. Bring one expertise and see the difference in your life. You can be a pioneer. You can be a, what is that called? You can divert the world with your own magical, educational practices. Earlier, when I was a learner of 3D printing, I was not aware about how nowadays how I am connecting with industries for the new product developments. Filing of the patent is okay, but nowadays I am converting my educational outputs for entrepreneurship developments. My educational practices, my expertise into warm up my pockets. Now my company launching WeGrow internship. Now we are spreading all over India. More than 1,500 students registered to learn the new technology practices. For the year 2022, we already received nominations of 1,500 students from the top-notch universities, top-notch engineering colleges across India. People are connecting us. And only because I'm doing the things, I have the expertise of 3D printing and I have the expertise of IoT practices. I invested myself to learn. I developed 3 more innovations for neonatal patients. And nowadays I'm thinking of how to make a startup and how can develop my product and how can I sell my product. When we are talking about product, means it is the supreme position of educational standard. Technical product I'm talking about. Not like your daily utilities, everything, wherever means any instrumentation, any mechanisms you can see. Technologies means key role behind it. And into healthcare, if you are investing your knowledge, you will get 90% profits. Most of the monopoly now in healthcare industries. Most of the monopoly now into sustainable practices. One simple example I'm giving you, jaundice. What is called jaundice? If you are suffering from, your body will convert in yellowish color, right? And that is the deposition due to deposition of bilirubin on your body skin. I visited Kim's Medical College and consulted few doctors. What exact kind of treatment you are doing? They told me, sir, we are focusing right kind of light intensity on skin. So whatever bilirubin will deposit on the body, it will come, get away by your urine. And I found the product cost is 6 lakh rupees, 6,50,000 rupees. Then I means found some resource paper to start learning the things. I found even if halogen lights with the right frequency sufficient for the bilirubin treatment, your jaundice treatment. Instead of 6,500 rupees, 50,000 rupees, we can make the product possible at 10 to 12,000 rupees. And sustainable practice is a common goal nowadays. Every machineries, even if now 90% of industrial automations, they are running with the sustainable practices. Solar energy, wind tunnels, these are the common requirement of industrial establishment. As per the government rule, even 50% of total power consumption of every educational industry is supposed to be run by renewable source of energy. Guidelines are there, but we are not celebrating that. Even if students are not aware about what is sustainable energy, how to connect one equivalent potentialful or competent components together to make a product possible. Theoretical knowledge absolutely not required nowadays. Now competitive standards of learning required. Now competitive standard of educational practice required with respect to industry requirements. Enough sufficient expertise required. Sufficient expertise required with respect to technology practices. And you have to pioneer, you have to bring that much expertise that can solve the industrial problem statements or societal problem statement. You will be surprised. 3D printing is it's a world where you can develop, you can develop your own creation. If you are holding any creative idea, you can develop a machine even. Designs required, and you have to select your materials, any kind of shape, any kind of machine you can develop. Electronics for you. It's a website where you can get all the knowledge about all kind of software knowledge. Maybe your artificial intelligence, maybe your what is that called, your design practices. You can get knowledge about that is data analytics. I'm working with a project nowadays with Symbiosis University Pune. Now I'm working with cloud computing and data segregation device. I think you must aware about Sakhi group. Sakhi is a central government established organization where women are helping people, helping direct or indirect, giving them mental assistance and giving right kind of solution to the victims. It's a potential group of ladies established into different police station, into hospitals, into nearby NGOs. Those women suffering from family violence. I'm giving one small example of education practice or technology practice, how can convert and helpful for the society. For example, you are a lady, you are traveling somewhere and suddenly you required any medical emergency, or you need some healthcare assistance, missing of girl childs, family violence, family separations, or dowry case, such kind of things. Means Sakhi group is the group established by the government of India into different sections. They are helping, giving mental assistance and giving right approach or right justice for the victims, women victims. We are developing one device which is going to install nearby all railway stations, all bus stands, all airports nearby, or crowded area, market complexes, where any victim at any time register one complaint, and nearby NGOs, hospital and medicals, the appointed Sakhi group can contact directly. It's like a vending machine where you can input your photographs, your Aadhaar card number, current location. Data is going to store at cloud, and using data analytics and segregations, it will come to Sakhi group through a buzzer or mobile SMS or any beep sound. Now see, means how these cloud technologies, cloud computing even, helpful for the peoples. That's supposed to be the standard of education, qualitative educations. Take a problem statement, take a challenge in your life, and satisfy, means bring what is that called, solution with your learning practice. That will give you, means what that is, that will give you confidence enough within you and to do some great in future ahead. When you are taking any problem statement and arranging the grants for the same, that grants bringing that much positive vibe around you, pell you or push you to do some great in your life. I still remember the days I'm getting the grants. I'm that much, satisfied enough with my research practices. Again, that inspiring me or motivating myself to inspire others to do some great into research work. I'm connecting thousands of people. I'm connecting thousands of students even, and inspiring every day to write something, to read something, to bring some expertise within, to take a problem statement, bring some solution with your expertise and knowledge. And when you remember, when you are contributing something for the society with your qualitative, means with your own standard of expertise, that will give you utmost satisfaction in your life. You make a world around you, make a world where people love to learn, love to listen to you, love to learn from you. Everybody having, means equal standard of, knowledge, mind and heart given by the God. Thing is, we are not putting ourselves, means we are not converting ourselves as a learner. Otherwise, everybody having same standard, right, to uplift their careers. At least make a, take a oath today. You identify lot of things there to learn. No? Lot of things are there. You identify any, any suitable technology or engineering practice with your choice best. Invest yourself to learn, invest yourself to practice. Take the problem statement with respect to your choice. Invest your knowledge to bring the solution with a product development and convert into startups. I have taken oath before 2 years. I have to do this area. I have to invest myself into patents. And that my commitment with the connection means turned me as the highest patent holder in India. Every day nowadays we are investing in learnings, consulting people, researching new things, researching new ideations, connecting people with their intellect and wisdom based. I hope this 2-week session with collected number of professors, with collected number of expertise people will bring some light in your heart and mind together, which inspire you, which motivate you, which will promote you to learn a new thing or new practice, and wish all the success. And thanks again, all the professors, students, and especially Principal Madam of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management for giving this opportunity and arrange the people, professors for you. And I'm very nearby, I'll visit one time to Kolkata. We'll establish one center of excellence in 3D printing and IoT practices. I'll arrange all the expertise for you, all machineries or infrastructures for you, but make it very sure when you are doing something, things supposed to translate properly, students supposed to take its benefit, right? Because they are my future champs. I never find any difference for my student or your student. Students are always student. Being a teacher, if I can contribute something for the uplifts of student learnings, then I will definitely find myself, very lucky enough, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very enlightening session. We have a question for you from one of the participants. How
Yeah,
to
sure.
identify the industry problems by our teaching community? How to identify the industry problems by our teaching community?
Very frankly speaking, you can't identify actually. Seriously, you can't identify. I still remember when I was a professor in GN University, Phagwada, Punjab, right? GN University having their own company, GNA Gears. And they used to manufacture gears and axles. And that using some, pressing tools. That pressing tools producing, tons of forces. So nearby areas, they are vibrating. So one day, the director, not called director, the managing director of that company, they asked to come their company and take this problem statement, how to reduce vibration nearby the machines. It was a civil practice and mechanical practice also. That time one professor were there, he was my dean, head of the department. We investigated there. One day we visited around the company and we found the hammer machines actually producing that much, vibration nearby. It is propagating up to 1 kilometer. 3 ton, 4 tons, power hammers are there. They are producing much more vibration. Dr. Thareza, yes, Dr. Thareza were there. He was a very renowned professor. He was my guide, PhD guide. Pass out from PEC, your Chandigarh. Then we identified why not to produce one kind of, whole means not whole. Why not to produce kind of, packaging system, new packaging kind of systems, which will, oppose vibration and not allow for the propagation of the, thoughts. Then we investigated and we found if we are putting 3 meter by 3 meter holes around the machine with sand and some grades of concretes and some, rubber packings. So definitely we can, sort out the problems. So likewise, machine to machines, requirement of, sophisticated products, problem statements are arising. Every machine required their malfunctioning, means expertise for their malfunctioning. Lot of, with respect to machines actually, with respect to industry requirement, problem statements are generating. We have to bring solution with, research practices. Identification, I'm telling you, for a software company, identification of problem statements are different. For a core industry, identification of problem statements are different, right? For mechanical industries, identification of problem statements are different. You can get to know about the things from reviewing the things, understanding the real-time problems, taking the benchmarking of standard to standard practices. Then only our education practice, means our education industry, can get to know about the industrial problem statements. Any more question, please?
Yes, sir. Dr. Kavita Singh has asked, how can we go for patent in Ayurvedic medicine?
Okay. See, actually 3 more, Dr. Kavita, actually 3 search engines are there. One is Patent Scope. Second one is your Google patent. Third one is your WIPO Switzerland patent. These are the search engines like your Google. If you are inventing something, then you do one thing. First, define your title of invention. Make a ready abstract containing the objective, outcomes, working principle with social benefits within 10 to 15 lines. Define your novelty or newness and define your claims. At least 5 number of claims are required, and define your inventive steps, right? After that, you prepare your working principle with ready one demonstrator diagrams right? And you check the plagiarisms, and you can connect with any attorneys or nearby, IP offices for filing of your patents. Any more question?
Yes, sir. We have two more questions. How the NEP helps to update the skill development for technology-oriented education system?
Once again, repeat, please.
Yes, sir. How the NEP helps to update the skill development for technology? Yes,
National
NEP.
Education Policy.
Yes. For
Okay.
technology-oriented education system.
I'm telling you, still government is putting efforts through AICT and UGC guidelines to make technology is a common practice for all the engineering college and universities. NEP only one guidelines, but things we required into ground level exactly. And that thing can possible as per the guidelines. I don't think so it will be that much successful. But if you want to make the NEP successful, we have to make ourselves prompt. I'm not going with superficial addition. I'm here very real and realistic kind of person, which believe in quality education and technology practice for the institute and universities together. First of all, we have to bring expertise within us. Being a teacher, being a mentor, being a professor, I am taking my responsibility first. I am taking my responsibility. Yes, this is my expertise area, and I have to learn these things, and I will translate the things to my students. Then only things can possible. Otherwise, hundreds of guidelines are there that come to ground level, means try to understand the real kind of hindrance or avoidance available, and we can only overcome that. And guidelines are there that all 9 technology defined by your UGC and AICT, right? And it's a common practice for every universities nowadays. People are doing. First of all, we have to bring expertise. Means those mentors through different or means activities. We have to stop social activities into engineering college. We have to mainframe focus on only technology oriented activities, workshops, seminar, conference, and everything depends on means inspiring other, motivating others, right? That's only.
Thank you so much, sir. If anybody else has any other questions, you can contact sir directly. His email ID is given in the brochure. I would now request Subhashis sir to provide with the digital memento.
Thank you. Nowadays, we are celebrating the lamp lighting ceremony and digital movement. Oh, that's only formality. But actually, what my real time words to you, make yourself, good learner first. Education, right? We are into education, and you are into quality, means input holders of society. You are the light. You are means so lights for the society. First of all, what we'll do, we'll commit ourselves. We'll commit ourselves to learn, right? At least, as I told you, we'll learn at least one technology with our what is that called, means interest based, right? We will learn the things and we will produce best practice for us and best practice for the students, right? Okay, sir. I'm very thankful.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now welcome our next speaker of the day, Miss Nandini Chakraborty. Nandini Chakraborty is working as a self-employed lawyer who is practicing in Alipur Judges Court. Previously, ma'am was employed in West Bengal Essential Commodities Service as a legal assistant. She is also a member of Alipur Bar Association. She also provides coaching to aspiring candidates for West Bengal Judicial Service Examination and to students pursuing company secretariat course. Please welcome ma'am.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries and especially to Principal Ma'am for giving me the opportunity to just to speak in this platform. So my topic is that the importance of intellectual property law in the industrial sector. Because see, in yours is an engineering college. So in the engineering colleges, what happens? Everyone aspire to be a good engineer. They will invent something with new innovation, technology, and mostly this nowadays it is a trend to go into entrepreneurship. So I think the concept of intellectual property law should be, I mean, a basic concept of intellectual property law should be provided to all the to the students at large and all the faculty members as well, because intellectual property law is very important. The importance cannot be undermined, because this what is happening, that when you are inventing something, we must keep into mind that our invention is protected. So how our invention, so what is happening, that after this, the World War II, that this when the importance of intellectual property was realized. So I have a PPT presentation with me, and this I would like to this come to slide 2. Please this present the PPT. So the first I'd like to say that intellectual property is a legal concept which refers to the creation of the mind, and which the means the creation of the mind of the person who has invented the thing. So previously the concept of property was only tangible property. Only the corporeal property was considered to be a property. But now we have realized that the intangible, this property is also recognized as a very important property. So under intellectual property law, owners are granted with certain exclusive rights for a variety of intangible assets. Intangible asset because it is a creation of the mind. It is the creation of the scientist, or the creation of any this person who is composing a music, who is this writing a book. So this is a very important property. So assets are two types that we know, that this one is tangible asset and the other is the intangible asset. So tangible assets are those which we can touch, whereas intangible assets are those rights which are acquired by the act of intelligence. So by the act of intelligence, all the these engineers and the scientists, everyone is creating something, some new novel task is being created. So the objectives of intellectual property is to protect the right of the product, innovators, inventors, sponsors, and the public. So the right is so much protected. Actually, what this happened after this independence, India this signed the GATT treaty, and after the GATT treaty, this World Trade Organization came into existence. So, what was what was the motive of this World Trade Organization? This World Trade Organization wanted to give protection to all the these innovators and the inventors, and subsequently TRIPS agreement was signed. TRIPS so India is a signatory to the TRIPS this agreement. So keeping in conformation with the TRIPS agreement, our intellectual property law is designed. So the objectives are to eliminate the infringement, improper exploitation, abuse of the project's intellectual asset belonging to the product or other persons. So to optimize environment and incentives for research and creation of new knowledge, so that we can so that in the research and development, in the field of research and development, new people come in, this come and work, and they are
मैं ना इसमें
Hello?
टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्शन सबसे पहले बताएंगे, या तो टेक्नोलॉजी बताएंगे क्या होती है वो मैंने उसमें लिख रखा है, वो मैंने देखा नहीं, वो प्रिंट आउट रह गया था। फिर टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्शन के बारे में बताएंगे, अगर हम इनोवेटिव टेक्निक्स अप्लाई करते हैं उससे हमारा बिजनेस ग्रो होता है, उसका थोड़ा हम बेनिफिट्स बता सकते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्शन के। फिर हम बात कर सकते हैं कुछ टेक्नोलॉजीज की, जैसे मैम अब कई कंपनीज हैं, ये ना एक स्टैंड अलोन आप टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट नहीं कर सकते। ऐसा होता है कि आप 2-3 टेक्नोलॉजीज का कॉम्बिनेशन कर रहे हो, मतलब आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हो गई और जैसे हमारी इंटेलिजेंट एप्स हैं, ये इकट्ठी है टेक्नोलॉजीज, जरूरी नहीं है कि एक ही टेक्नोलॉजी। हाँ, कोलैबोरेट है। अब जैसे इसमें सबसे पहले बात करी है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में वो आ जाता है हमारे वर्चुअल असिस्टेंट। हम लोग गूगल पे बोलते हैं, गूगल असिस्टेंट आता है ना, एक गूगल असिस्टेंट फोन पे भी होता है, और सिरी से करते हैं हम बात, या फिर आपकी जैसे अलेक्सा है, आप बोलते हो ना अलेक्सा प्ले दिस, तो ये आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है।
Hello.
Yes, madam. I think you can continue.
I continue. Actually, I could hear someone's voice. This for that reason I stopped. I don't know. Means two presentations overlapped. It seemed to me.
Yeah, some mic was unmuted, and I think some noise was there.
Okay, madam. Okay, madam. Please,
I'll continue.
please continue. Okay, madam.
Okay. So I'm in slide 3. So to optimize the environment and incentive for research and for the creation of new knowledge, to promote linkage with industry and stimulate research through developing and utilizing novel technologies and creative work for the commercialization and plowback resource to the interested parties, and to promote creativity and innovation. So in order to promote creativity and invention, intellectual property is given such kind of rights to the innovators, so that their rights are not exploited. So that, see, if someone is discovering something and someone else has taken, has stolen the formula, or this infringed that person's this lawful knowledge, or the means not the lawful knowledge, this rather the knowledge. So in order to avoid this infringement, the intellectual property, this rights has been conferred. So intellectual property can broadly be divided into copyright, trademark, and patent. So copyright. So what is copyright? Copyright is a bundle of rights given by the law to the
Excuse me,
creator.
ma'am. Excuse me,
Yeah,
ma'am. Sorry to
yeah,
disturb you. Can you
yeah.
please enable editing? Share as a slideshow. It is still on the same slide.
The objectives, means the copyright one. The slide has changed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please mention the slide number? Which slide you are
This
talking
I'm
about?
right now in slide number 5.
Slide number 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, please mention the slide when you change the slide.
Okay, definitely. So what is copyright? Copyright is a bundle of rights given by the law to the creators. So the creators may be in the form of the literary work, or any artistic work, or any dramatic work, or musical work, and even the producers of cinematography and sound recordings. So the rights provided under copyright law includes the right of reproduction of the work, communication of the work to public, adaptation of the work, and translation of the work. So here I have one thing to say. See, the ideas are not protected because ideas are open to everyone. Nobody can say that yes, that this was the exclusive idea which I have invented, because the ideas are not protected. Because see, for example, I'm giving this an example. If someone is making any movie on the concept of Ramayana or Mahabharata, then we cannot say that yes, this is a copyright infringement, because here the concept is not been taken, is not been given any copyright. So ideas or concept do not have any copyright protection. So copyright is available for a period of 60 years after publication of the literary work or musical work, though its parameters varies and it is not the same for all classes of work. 60 years from the after the demise of the author till the period of 60 years. So copyright comes into existence as work is created, but it has to duly certified in accordance to the procedure of copyright law. Supposing if I'm writing a novel, if someone is writing any book or any means any this composed any music, if it has to be copyrighted, then the application of the copyright should be filed in the copyright office and the due procedure should be followed. So computer software. So computer software is such a thing which gets this intellectual right protection under copyright as well as trademarks. But these computer software are mostly given protection under the Copyright Act. So computer software program can also be registered as a literary work. It is registered as a literary work as per Copyright Act 1957. Literary work includes computer programs, table, compilation, including computer database. These are all coming under this copyright protection. The source code should also be supplied along with the application for registration of copyright for software products. If someone is creating for this any software product, the source code should be supplied along with the application. And the 2012 amendment, like the Indian Copyright Act law, compliant with the internet treaties like WIPO, copyright and WIPO performance and phonograms, this treaty. So there was such some kind of disparity. So for that reason, complaint was raised. And now we're coming with the remedies for infringement of copyright. So the civil remedies available for infringement of copyright, as mentioned in Section 55 of Copyright Act, whereby court can grant injunction. So injunction can be granted if someone is copying my this literary work or anything in which I have attained the copyright, then injunction is granted by the court. In addition to that, these remedies are also available. Under Section 63 of the Copyright Act, a person found guilty of copyright infringement would be liable to be punished with imprisonment for 6 months, which may extend up to 3 years, and fine of rupees 50,000, and which may even extend to up to rupees 2 lakhs. Next, I'm coming with the trademark. A trademark is typically, this now is this slide number 8. I had to mention, so I am mentioning now. Yeah. Slide 8. Yeah. So trademark is typically a name, word, phrase, or logo symbol, a design, image, or a combination of all these elements. So the trademark includes, it may be a name, and it may be a phrase, or it may be a logo or a symbol. This, by looking at this name, word, logo, phrase, we can identify the product. That is the exclusiveness of the trademark. So there is also a range of non-conventional trademarks such as color, smell, or sound jingles. For example, looking at the color, we can just imagine that, for example, the Bata, the way the name is written in red color, we can identify with that font and with that color that it is a shoe made of Bata. Or any smell which has its exclusiveness. For example, the smell of the Darjeeling tea, we can say, though it's not coming within the trademark, means later on I'll go in it. Some kind of smells are there which goes exclusively with its trademark, and sound jingles, that this sound jingle is associated with this product. And according to Section 21Z of Trademark Act 1999, a trademark should be capable of being represented graphically and should also be capable of distinguishing the goods or service from one person to the other. So the trademark should set a line of this demarcation so that one product or one service does not resemble to that of the other one. The function of trademark is to give an indication to the purchaser or the tentative purchaser on the manufacturer or the quality of the goods and service. For example, when we are going to avail any goods and service, we just try to confirm ourselves, yes, that means the thing which we wanted to take from the market, that thing only we are getting. So for that specific specification, the trademark is given. to give an indication to his eye or the trade source from which the goods or service come, or the trade hands through which they pass on to the market. So the trademark is giving the indication to his eye, and we can just satisfy that yes, we are getting, that we are purchasing the thing which we want to purchase. Next slide is slide 9. Remedies available for infringement of trademark. So the penalty for selling a false trade marketed product or service is 6 months of imprisonment, which may extend to 3 years, and fine not less than rupees 50,000, and which may even extend to rupees 2 lakhs. And the civil remedies may be available in the form of injunctions. One example I'm citing, which I have not written here. For example, this when we go to buy this Dulalet Talmistry, we have to see, yes, sometimes they like that this Ashul Dulalet Talmistry, or somehow they make certain small kind of distortions. So if we see the product with such kind of distortions, we'll definitely not purchase that. So these are the remedies available for that, and if we see this kind of infringement, these are the remedies that are available. Next is slide 10. Slide 10 is all about patent. Patent is very important to you people, because it is exclusively with the this engineering, this products, or means all of you just invent something or the other. So patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention. It may be a product patent or a process patent. It may be the product and the process is also patented, and provides a new way of doing something or offers a new technical solution to a problem. This right is conferred by the patent office. It is the right for an inventor to exploit his invention to subject to the provision of Patent Act 1970, but for a stipulated period of time. Why for a stipulated period of time? Because this right, it should go to the public at large, and it should be, and so that the society is benefited at large. The object of patent law is to encourage scientific research, new technology, and industrial progress. These are the objects of patent law. The price of the grant of monopoly is the disclosure of the invention at the patent office, which after the expiry of the fixed period, which is generally 20 years from the grant of patent, passes into the public domain. So after 20 years, it goes to the public domain. The fundamental principle of the patent law is that patent is granted for an invention which must have a novelty and utility. In order to obtain a patent, we must see that it has the element of novelty and utility. This means novelty means it must be totally new, and it can be utilized for the benefit of the society. It is essential for the validity of the patent that it must be inventor's own discovery. So it has to be totally new. Means nothing pop-it thing cannot be given to patent, and then the plagiarism charges will be there. Next, I'm coming to slide number 11. So patent is a right granted to an individual or enterprise by the government for his innovation. The main criteria for a patent is it should be completely new, and it must qualify the criteria for being accepted for a patent status. The first is it has to be completely new and accepted for a patent status. It must have certain patent status. It should have inventive step. The inventive step should be this mentioned, that this invention must add a feature to the already existing knowledge which will enhance its economical significance. And it should not be an obvious thing for a person who is skilled in that art. That means something is already there. You are this adding some more features to it, so that its economic significance and its use is also has become this more and more. and it should be capable of industrial application. That is very important. Next, I'd like to come to slide number 12. Renewal. After the patent is granted, it has to be renewed every year by paying the renewal fees. A patent in India can be renewed for a maximum period of 20 years from the date of filing of patent. So these are the procedures. So for a maximum period of 20 years, it this after 20 years, it has to be renewed. So the procedure for obtaining patent are the following procedures must be complied for obtaining the patent. These are: searches are conducted to know the novelty of an invention, and after conducting the searches thoroughly worldwide, the invention is written in techno-legal language, which is more known as specification. The specification, a patent must have its own specification. And filing of patent application is the first foremost step in this procedure. 6 different kind of applications are filed in the Indian Patent Office. Once the application of patent registration in India is filed, then after 18 months, the publication is published in an official journal which is open to the public at large. Then after the patent application is examined on request within 48 months of the application filing date. After all the objections to the examination report is compiled and the examiner is satisfied with the reply of the applicant, the application is put in order for the grant of patent. So these are the legal procedures in order to obtain a patent. Next is 13, slide number 13. Evergreening of patent is not allowed. So in order to be patentable, an improvement of something known before or a combination of different matters already known should be something more, a mere workshop improvement, and must independently satisfy the test of invention or inventive step. So the inventive step should be satisfied. So it must produce a new result or new article or a better or cheaper article than before. The new subject must be totally new invention over what is old. So the evergreening, that whatever is patentable, for example, a thing which is already patented, if someone wants to make the improvisation, it has to be seen that after improvisation, the output has increased manifold. For that reason, the evergreening of patent is not allowed. And the second step is it allows compulsory licensing. This strikes balance between the two objectives, that is rewarding patentee for innovation and to make sure that patentees for innovation and to make sure that patented products, particularly pharmaceutical ones, are available to public in developing and underdeveloped countries at affordable price. This is very important because if someone keeps a patent for a very long time and it is not available to the public and it is not available for the general good of the people, then the ultimate aim of means the development aim, this will be this at a strand. Next is slide 14. Remedies for infringement of patent. The patentee of the invention may file suit against the infringer within the period of 3 years from the time of infringement of patent. Next, I would like to say in slide number 15, industrial design. As per WIPO, in a legal sense, an industrial design constitutes the ornamental or aesthetic aspect of an article. An industrial design may consist of 3-dimensional features such as shape of the article or 2-dimensional features such as the pattern, lines, or colors. Industrial design consists of the creative activity which results in the ornamental or formal appearance of a product, and design right refers to the novel or original design that is accorded to the proprietor of the validity of the registered design. See, for example, when we see a bottle of Coke or a bottle of this Pepsi, all these bottles are having its own features. because we never see a bottle of Coke in a different shape than what it is from the very beginning. So this is where, so they are having an industrial design which is also our this intellectual property, and this cannot be copied. Next in slide 16 is geographical indication. A geographical indication is a sign used on products that have a specific geographical origin and possess qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. In addition to qualities, the characteristics reputation of the product should be essentially due to the place of origin. Since the qualities depend on the geographical place of production, there is a clear link between the product and the original place of this production. So the geographical indication, for example, the Darjeeling tea, that means when we refer about Darjeeling tea, we know that exclusively only in Darjeeling tea is manufactured. And for that, in the next slide, I have given some other examples. This in slide 17. For example, Joynagar Moa means the Joynagar Moa is exclusively from Joynagar. It is associated, then means the name itself is associated with the name of the place. Kolhapur shoes, the Kolhapuri shoes are from Kolhapur only. Banarasi saris are exclusively available from this means the exclusiveness of the sari is that those kind of saris are available from Benares. In all these cases, the name of the place is associated with the exclusive items. The name itself identifies the product and the region where it is exclusively available. Next in slide 18, it is the concluding part. So the importance of intellectual property cannot be undermined in the 21st century. IPR or intellectual property right has given or added new dimension in the changing global trade and commerce. For example, due to the emergence of this COVID pandemic, countries to TRIPS agreement is on the verge of agreement for sharing the data useful in order to invent COVID vaccination and medication. So intellectual property are always aimed at ensuring that the research and development program are always protected in the safe hands and there is no manipulation and exploitation of one's skill and invention. So this is the main motto of my presentation, so that we can make people that we can make students aware that their research and development are always given protection, and this is how they can avail all the protections. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was a very insightful session. I would request the participants if they have any question or observations.
Ma'am, can I ask one question, please?
Yeah, please.
According to ma'am, ma'am has told that the patent gets approximately after application 48 months and so. What is the difference between the patent which is done like people are doing in 10 days also? What kind of patent is that, ma'am?
Patent for 10 days?
Yeah, they like in journal, like if some subjective kind of thing is there, for example, if it is related to human resource management, some model has been developed.
But
So
for this only for 10 days patent means actually I don't have any knowledge that only for 10 days a patent can be is available. So I think it is in the formative stage. It is in the means there are two steps in the patent for this availing the patent. One is the product patent and the process patent. So it may be included in the process step.
okay, so process takes this, I mean, the things which are involving any kind of process, they'll be taking that much time, because I'm aware of one of the patent that it was filed on 23rd of December 2021 and it got published on 31st of December only. So what was that?
Actually, that means that person has complied all the regulations and accordingly it was published.
So it can be published in a week only or 10 days, ma'am?
See, if you can satisfy the patent office with all your this means required documents and everything, then it can be published. It is on the discretion of the patent office.
Okay, okay, right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, so now I would like to request Shubhashish sir for the memento.
Thank you. Many thanks. We hope a day will come when we can just organize a seminar and physically we can collect these things.
Sure, ma'am.
Because we are this missing the physical seminars so much. Many thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would
Thank you.
now request Tanisha ma'am to take over.
Good afternoon, everyone. Professor Rao, are you with us?
Yes, madam, I'm there.
Okay. So I'd like to introduce everyone to Professor S.S. Prasada Rao, who is the Managing Director of Teaching and Learning Center at Sarda University, and who has previously, he was the Director and Teaching Learning Center, Sarda University. Professor Prasada Rao has held several administrative positions in GITAM universities, such as Center for Learning and Sustainability, Director, Academic Affairs, Founder, Dean, and Director of Hyderabad Business School. I'll ask him to please continue with his talk now. Sir, can you please continue?
Just a minute. Yeah, friends, very good afternoon to one and all. I'm really thankful to the organizers. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Please continue.
Yes. Okay. I'm really thankful to the organizers for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to gathering. Friends, my topic, I do not wish to make any presentation here. It is a discussion mode. I wish to give some insights. This is pre-NEP era, NEP 2020 and post-NEP 2020. How the entrepreneurial education being imparted in the country. Before we proceed to the talk, I request you, if anyone can answer my question, what is that the goal of education system? Why are we providing this education? There are 950 universities, around 21 IIMs, 16 IITs, NITs, IIITs, n number of colleges, around 48,000 in the country. There are several academic institutions helping the student community to get proper education and reward them with the certificates, diplomas, degrees, postdoctoral degrees, something like that. Can anyone tell me what is that we are giving, what is that we are providing, and what is that we are expecting? You can actually text in the chat box also your answers. If you are not able to unmute your audio or unmute your video, you can actually put it in the chat box so that I can connect with proper thoughts. There are 70 participants in the hall now. So how many of you would like to respond to my question? I wish to take some feedback from you so that I can add some value. Otherwise, it's a very difficult task. If I am not able to meet your expectations, first of all, I will not be happy. So I wish to give you some proper inputs. Anyone has texted any message in the chat box? I'm checking. Okay. Can anyone speak out? No problem. If you do not speak out, I will speak. You want me to proceed? Okay.
Yes, sir, please proceed.
Madam Tanisha,
Yes, sir.
you are saying something. Should I
No, sir, please
proceed
continue.
my
Please proceed. Yes.
presentation?
Yes, sir, please continue.
Yeah, if anybody responds to my question, I'll be more happy. My question is, what is that we are providing, in all the academic institutions? Are we not providing life skills? Are we not targeting to give them the best education? Education is for, empowerment. Education is for making the students understand what is life. Education is all about, providing various inputs to lead the life happily. That was the system. In fact, education 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, now it is 5.0. 1-to-1 was the traditional system in the country, in the universe. After some time, one-to-many, that massive systems have been put in place. One teacher, many students in the classroom. And later, many teachers, many students. Later on, many institutions, many teachers, many students. The latest.
I'll request the participants to mute themselves, please.
Yeah, there are many service providers, there are many institutions, and targeting only one student. That is the advantage of online system. When it is the case, see how challenging is the task now. Earlier, resources are very constrained. Now, resources are many. Students are many. The choices of the students are changing. And how we are able to manage the required thing, taking advantage of the technology. Everything is in place. But the major challenge remains the same. The students are confused. The students are not clear which should be accepted, which should be taken, which should be considered. Only one customer. So many to one is the latest challenge that we cannot avoid. Okay, that's one point. Then pre-National Education Policy 2020, post-National Education Policy 2020, also we discuss. If it is pre-National Education Policy 2020, there were policies, NPE, National Policy of Education 1986. Even that was also focusing more on creating employment and providing employment and making the students employment ready and making the students employable, making the students opportunity, giving them opportunity to, become employment generators, employment providers, not just like employment seekers. But there is a lot of difference between the previous policies and the latest policy. Okay, so the Indian economy needs new, innovative, enthusiastic entrepreneurs, and education is an essential factor in developing entrepreneurial competencies in individuals. And India is a young country with an average of 63% of population currently in the working age group of 15 to 59 years. Studies have found that entrepreneurship prevalence rates are highest in the age group of 25-34. But this advantage could become a barrier if youth cannot develop the appropriate skills, including entrepreneurial skills. Friends, the educational institutions have significant role to play, particularly, even in the LPG era, liberalization, privatization, globalization era. When India opened its economy to the world, a greater emphasis was laid down upon entrepreneurship. Attempts at various levels have been made to promote entrepreneurship among individuals. Unfortunately, the education system prevailing in India prepares individuals to seek traditional employment rather than instill the confidence to do something that one likes. It's important to note that university curriculum results in an individual as a job seeker and not a job provider. Universities need to differentiate between their related business and entrepreneurial courses. Entrepreneurship is the need of the hour, and educational institutions play a vital role in fueling the entrepreneurship. Okay, so entrepreneurship education in India is very much essential for determining and developing the entrepreneurial qualities among the individuals. The entrepreneurial education in India, particularly post-independence, resulted from the government designing measures to encourage self-employment and founding small and medium enterprises. Friends, there are specialized agencies, for youth, for like that, there are several schemes introduced by the government, both the central government and the respective state governments. There are so much funds being deployed for promoting entrepreneurship among various, types of people, sectors. For tribal, one scheme; for other people, other scheme; for socially disadvantaged, another scheme; some otherwise challenged, other scheme. Like that, several schemes are introduced by the government from time to time. Of course, something is happening. We cannot deny the fact. Something is happening, no doubt. Even there are some banks which have started, funding these kind of entrepreneurs for promotion and encouraging the people to become the employment providers. Like TCOs, technical consultancy organizations, even CDB is there, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and multilateral development institutions like IFCI, even earlier ICICI, IDBI, even multilateral international agencies like IBR, World Bank, IMF, ADB. There are several agencies, institutions, organizations are all working for the promotion of entrepreneurship among the youth, among the Indian population. And there are specialized agencies also like EDI, Entrepreneurship Development Institute. In fact, there is another institute called National Entrepreneurship Network. They provide seed capital to start something. And there are several individuals also nowadays coming forward, like high net worth individuals, private equity, venture capital, seed capital, India Startup Capital, Stand Up India, Startup India, like that, people started, the central government recently initiated that. Several schemes, but still we are not able to take advantage of those things. That is the reason why it is majorly focused about the entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial education in the National Education Policy 2020. Before moving to the other aspects of NEP, I would like to tell you one more important thing. Like educational institutions should design the curriculum to have the scope of creativity and innovation. Friends, the traditional educational system prevailing in India lacks innovation and does not provide academic coverage for and redesign the course curriculum of various educational institutions, including primary schools, so that innovation and motivation and awareness of entrepreneurship education should be provided at the beginning stage of the individual's development and thus provide immense opportunities for creativity and innovation. Friends, a broad understanding of entrepreneurship should be the strategic objective of the university, and there should be a top-down support for it. The goals of entrepreneurship education should include generation of entrepreneurial attitudes, behavior, skills, and enhancing growth entrepreneurship. And there should be clear incentives and rewards for entrepreneurship educators, professors, researchers who graduate entrepreneurship, okay? So that they can contribute to the maximum extent possible. So there are specialized agencies, specialized institutions, multilateral development agencies working for promotion of the entrepreneurship. Now come back to the NEP 2020. How NEP 2020 is providing the entrepreneurial minds. Before going for the NEP 2020, I have a question here. See, when we are educating so many students, how to obtain loan from the bank, how to design a product, how to develop a strategy for marketing the product. There are so many things. So many students come to campus, not just for the piece of paper, certificate. They come for learning from various stakeholders of the university or an academic institute. Most of the students learn and network with their peers, with their seniors, juniors, sub-juniors, super seniors, like that. Hello. Yeah, suddenly I'm out of this. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Sorry, suddenly it has gone.
No problem, sir. Please continue.
Yeah. So what I believe is that before introducing NEP, there were several agencies working for the development of the entrepreneurship part. to what extent we could succeed? That is a question number one. Second question is how we are, failing. There are several reasons. We are not making the students to think, because man is to think, machine is to work. Unfortunately, we are not allowing the students to think and bring that kind of learning back to class. Students are completely distracted with several reasons. The reasons may be plenty, but if it is the case, very difficult to implement the entrepreneurial education. See, nobody is born great. Everyone can be made great with the proper education. That's why the education system is now in the changing process, and we are actually doing so much work nowadays, the academic institutions, to encourage the entrepreneurship activity among the students. Even every teacher should become a mentor. Every teacher should become a startup innovator. Every teacher should start something business, so that the students can be made partners in the process of doing business. When the students are part of doing business, they will get a lot of exposure. In fact, for this kind of exposure only, the project-based learning, the problem-based learning, the simulation games, there are several methods, several tools most of the schools are using. But unfortunately, everyone is doing just for the namesake. We have to come out of that. We need to provide this education, make the students to think, number one, make the student to fail if required. We are not making the students to fail. We have to make them fail so that they will understand more. If anybody wants to fail, let them first play sports and games so that they will understand the importance of being, failure. So failing is also very important, but failure at the early stages is better, not at the later stages. Since we are not allowing anybody to fail in the early stages, and many are failing in the lateral stages, that is very dangerous. So fail faster, succeed sooner. This is one of the wonderful professor, an engineer turned professor from Stanford University, propagated this concept called fail faster, succeed sooner. So you fail with as many attempts as possible, as many experiments as possible, so that you will understand the best possible concepts and life lessons. And you cannot fail in the lateral stages. That is the idea. In fact, that is actually giving a thought for design thinking also. So design thinking is not something related to product. It is an idea, and it can be evolved out of your thinking process. Okay, so design thinking is not a problem based, it is solution based. So we have to allow the students to think. So in this process, the national education policy has made a lot of efforts to make the students employable, and to make the students not only being employable, make the students employment providers. Employment providing is a biggest boon to the country. So what is NEP 2020 promising? It is promising to make sweeping remarks and sweeping reforms in education and research, whereas on the spot, it aims to create the new possibilities for lifelong learning. Friends, remember, the NEP 2020 states that it is not for 1 year or one period of learning. It is making the students lifelong learning. Besides making it industry oriented, emphasizing entrepreneurship. The overarching goal of entrepreneurial revolution has been woven into NEP in the sense it aspires to make the young generation more imaginative, innovative, ingenious, proactive, pioneering, and prospect oriented. This is at the core of entrepreneurship and is also competence that all demography increasingly need to have in today, regardless of career choice. Okay, so what is the roadmap the NEP is putting now? Given the explosive pace of technological development allied with sheer creativity, integrating the vocational education with educational offerings in all the institutions will develop entrepreneurial capacities by choosing focus on skill gap analysis and mapping local opportunities. It will go a long way to make vocational education a part of the larger vision of holistic education. I think many of you have been exposed to the NEP 2020. You must have gone through that. And this is focusing more on creating employment rather than simply depending on looking for employment or job seekers. The second major important point for promotion of entrepreneurship is era of specialization. We are now living in the very democratic world. Even the knowledge also is democratized. And another important thing, the education, is made available through various sources. Like the new norm is multidisciplinary. Earlier, people used to learn some core subjects and specialization to obtain a degree. But now the new norm is era of specializations. What is the specialization? You need to have multidisciplinary. You need not confine to just one program, one course or one area. You can do as many things as possible. So as part of holistic education, the ideas of imaginative and flexible curricular structures enable creative combinations of disciplines for study. And the NEP provides for rigorous research-based specialization by giving opportunities for multidisciplinary work, including industry, internships with local industry or business houses, actively engaging with the practical side of learning, all of which are bound to give an impetus to the entrepreneurship. Okay. So another major focus is on technical education. I think most of you are very clear about STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. The government is very much focusing on that, and every student should be good, at least these areas. So focus on technical education is very, very prominent in the NEP 2020, because the focus on technical education is decisive for India's overall growth and development and is well addressed in this course. The technological sectors like engineering, technology, management, architecture, town planning, pharmacy, hotel management, and catering technology demand well qualified individuals. Hence, closer collaboration between industry and institutions to drive innovation and research is actively encouraged in NEP 2020. Since these domains will become part of the multidisciplinary education and curricula will be renewed to focus on opportunities to engage deeply with the field, teaching will be entrepreneurial oriented. Okay. And the NEP proposes the National Committee for the Integration of Vocational Education to promote the integration of education with industry and National Research Foundation to seed, grow, and facilitate research by funding competitive proposals by liaison between researchers and relevant branches of industry. And another major observation, major thrust area of NEP 2020 is integrating vocational elements. Soliciting inputs from national and international entrepreneurs and practitioners, integrating vocational education programs into mainstream education, complementing with a parallel, voluntary, and more business-focused approach, creating entrepreneurship-oriented programs with expanded high-quality opportunities that can make effective use of these qualifications would allow breakthrough to be brought into NEP and implementation optimally. Besides, as part of multidisciplinary education, the focus will be on research and innovation by setting up startup incubation centers, technology development centers, entrepreneurial areas, studying more significant industry academia linkages. And these initiatives will go a long way in preserving, promoting entrepreneurial understanding and vastly strengthen the existing entrepreneurial sector. The idea of infusing entrepreneurship into education has spurred much enthusiasm in the past few decades. A myriad of effects and efforts have been started to result from this, such as economic growth, job creation, increased social resilience, individual growth, increased engagement, improved quality, and equality. However, putting this idea into practice will pose significant challenges alongside the positive effects. And another important thing, there are several, observations. Hello? Yes. And the recent, observation, most of the IITs, most of the top class institutions have already started. Earlier, most of the teachers used to confine to teaching and research. But now, the latest, target for most of the top class institutions in the world is first, you just patent, get the patent, then publish, then prosper. 3P, patent, publish, prosper. These are the three areas now most of the top class institutions are focusing. Do not publish for the first time. First you obtain patent, then you publish, then you start something so that you can make the students partners in that business, partners in that activity. There are two important things. One, they can learn by doing, and second one, they can also earn, while studying. While education, they can earn, while education, they can learn, so that they will start, next level organizations in the days to come. That is the idea. But unfortunately, we are all confined to the theoretical inputs. We are all confined to, somebody who is giving and we are receiving them and writing in the examination and completing everything. This is not expected. Every student should work productively. Every teacher should, encourage the students to think beyond the classroom, think beyond the subject. Every subject is useful and every subject can be converted into some actionable thing. Suppose we are teaching economics and we have to make them understand not only the concepts of economics and application of economics, how the market structure, help the students to understand, what kind of market structure he is experiencing, nearby his hometown. What are the structures, how the price, is being determined. Suppose you teach financial management, you can say, not only accounting, but also finance. What is the return on investment? What is the return on assets? How much the shareholders are given? How much is the employees are given? The bonus, the percentage, the expenses, assets, liabilities, the obligations, tangible assets, intangible assets, everything we can measure in terms of, not only a number, but also give an example. The student should be partner in that. The student should be exposed to the real life situations. See, we cannot bring the industry to the class. And we cannot take the class also to the industry. There is always a gap. To bridge that gap, the method, case study method has been introduced. So case study is one of the methods where the students are getting the real life exposure, real, time exposure. So they can spend a lot of time on understanding and also giving their thoughts. The same way, project-based learning. If the students are asked to do a field survey, a project study, they will go through a lot of hardships and a lot of challenges. And through this, they learn so much and bring back their learnings into the class. So the teachers is not just, giving yarn. In fact, the teachers are facilitating the learning. Suppose a teacher wishes to give everything and the students will become very passive. Teachers should never give everything to the students. They should actually educate them, facilitate them so that they can learn more. Suppose they depend on teachers' knowledge, it is confined to only, very less amount. Suppose the students are given open, given choice, given exposure, and students are asked to do so much, and lot of learning can be done in the classroom. Because for all the students, only one teacher. Suppose the students are sharing that work, 60 teachers, in the class, and 60 students, 59 students and 60, one teacher. So 60, the classroom. At a point of time, every member of the class can come and share his or her own experience, their own findings, their own learnings, their own, exposure, their own expertise. There, the students will never miss the class. Now, actually attracting the students to class is becoming a challenge because they know very well what we are giving and they know very well what is that going to come in the examination. So they are just confined to the, minimum things, and, they are just clearing their exam and getting the pass certificate. And tomorrow he or she going to industry and learning something new, something different. Suppose what is being, done in the industry cannot be given 100% in the classroom, but we can create opportunities. We can provide opportunities. We can create scenarios. That's why it is more of a collective effort than a single individual activity. I wish to stop my session here. and I'm very happy to take the questions, if any. I think 2 minutes or 5 minutes I may be given. I may be given 5-10 minutes. I purposefully did not want to make the PPT here because you see, you're all going through the PPT only, not paying attention for the thought process. That's why I gave only sharing of thoughts.
Okay, if anyone has any questions, please ask away.
I'll be very happy to take questions. Anything. It may be on NEP, it may be on entrepreneurship education, it may be technology management, or any challenges faculty are facing. Because I'm also taking care of capacity building of faculty. I believe the competencies make the people confident. So how to enhance our competencies? That is a major challenge for the faculty. I think, madam, everyone is a faculty here or students also there?
So students
Madam,
are there as well.
okay, it's a very good thing. So both of us, because in every institute there are three major parts: students, teachers, and academic leadership. These three contribute so much for learning. How to keep motivation for startup? That's a question. See, we have to make them taste the startup. I give a small, story. See, startup is profit sharing. Employment, just salary giving. Salary is limited. Profit may not be limited. And profit can be enjoyed, and salary, it may not be certain. And salary may be, for a particular task. As long as jobs are there, we may get salary. But, startup is ownership. Startup is a pride. Startup, you are giving so many, so much life for many people. So startup is a great, you are a leader. A person who does business, actually they are called leaders. The people, the army, military, they are all leaders. Unfortunately, we, follow the film actors. They are not leaders. Business people are the real leaders. Business means not charity. Business means making some productive. Whether of course, if anybody does not do ethical business, we can question them. But business is very, very important. So startup, it could be social entrepreneurship or a business entrepreneurship or any, business idea or not-for-profit idea. But even it is not for profit, somebody has to finance, no? So I always believe in making some, productive effort. So startups, motivation is, startup is a leader. Anything else?
Does anyone else have any questions?
I appreciate Professor Samanta Bhattacharya. He is the only one switching on the video. The rest all, we do not know what they are doing. Yeah, somebody has sent
Someone
me a
has
message.
asked a question.
Yeah, please read out, madam.
Okay, sir, in India, it is to see there are technical and non-technical institutes are under one roof. Is it possible to make them to provide inter and intra course?
Exactly. That's what, tomorrow, the NEP 2020 talking about the multidisciplinary approach. Single faculty institutions cannot survive. We have to provide as many opportunities as possible to every student. Suppose a student joins here today for MBBS degree. After 1 year, he or she may find it very difficult and they want to become a graduate in music. They should be getting that. That's why single faculty institutions are not going to survive in the days to come. Every institute should be a multidisciplinary educational institute. As many disciplines you need to offer so that the students will have choice. The choice is important. We need to provide opportunity to the students. We need to provide choices to the students, because we do not know what is impressing the students. Sometimes, see, it's all because of the exposure. If the students are not exposed to choice, what do they select? What is given, they will accept. Suppose you are offering choice, you are offering so many courses in the institute, nowadays, and there is no guarantee that the student will stay with 4 years with an institute, because the multiple entry, multiple exit options also being accepted. The transferability of credits, academic bank of credits is also there. And the student need not continue all the 4 years in single institute. After 1 year, he can take a break and work for some time and come back to the institute. So like that, so many challenges, so many things are going to happen in the days to come. So multidisciplinary is the new norm. That's why I'm saying, whether it is technical or management or humanities or arts, crafts, science, whatever it is, we should give exposure to every area. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Someone has asked another. No, that was it, I guess. Does anyone have any other questions?
Okay, thank you very much.
I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude towards you, sir. And now I'll request Mr. Shubhashish Shah to provide you with a digital memento.
Yeah, you can forward it to me.
Sure, sir.
Now, Rajesh.
I'll request our Dean Sir, Dr. Shumanto Bhattacharya, to join us and for the vote of thanks.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Hello. Yes, thank you. A graceful and warm afternoon to our respected Principal Madam, Professor Mohuadash, our beloved HODs of various departments, honorable guests, and my dear colleagues. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this inaugural day of 2 weeks workshop on innovation in technology leading entrepreneurship. On behalf of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management and the entire fraternity of the college, first of all, I extend my most sincere thanks to the God to gives me this opportunity to present myself. And on my behalf, I extend a very hearty thanks to all speakers for gracing your crucial work and sharing your opinion and findings for this present time. So further, a big thank you to the master of the ceremony of our convener, Mr. Rajoshi Chakraborty, HOD Mechanical Engineering Department, co-convener, Mr. Shubhashish Shah, Assistant Professor, Basic Science and Humanities, coordinators, Mrs. Amrita Dhar, IIC convener, GKCEM, Dr. Anubrata Mandal, IQAC convener, GKCEM, Mr. Arindam Sadhu, Innovation Cell convener, and Innovation Cell convener GKCM for arranging this workshop. I also extend thanks to all teachers for their cooperation in this function. Events like this cannot happen overnight. So the wheel starts rolling week ago and requires a planning and a bird eye for detail. Here we are fortunate enough to be backed by a very dedicated, motivated team of our college who knows their task and are very much result oriented basically. I cannot thank everyone enough for their willingness and involvement to take the completion of this work for this 2 week workshop. So I believe we will learn many things during this next 2 week. I once again want to state that we are grateful to all speakers here over the stage. So we thank you for being with us, and it has been a great pleasure for me.
Thank you, sir.
I'm also thankful to Mr. Rishi, who has been and helping me with the link, the material, the poster, brochure, etc. Thank you all once again. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
So we'll continue our seminar from tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'll ask everyone to please join tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. We'll end this here.
Our full team of GKSM. I also congratulate and also thank you to all of you for joining us. And I will request all of you to fill up the feedback form given in the chat box as well as in the YouTube live also, as because it is being maintained for getting the certificate, as because I also mailed you already that if you can fill up this for 80%, then only you can get the certificate. Okay. Thank you all. So we are ending for today. We'll join